Clue.
Thank you, Annie. Thank you for the quick greetings and introduction. Hello, everyone. Good morning and good afternoon. I know that we also have South American colleagues in here in this call. So thank you first of all for joining this Road Data Center Designer deep dive training. As we are all aware that ISEC Designer is decommissioned and Road Designer, Road Data Center Designer is the only application from the design tools which is currently available for you to create any white space data center designing. So it's a high time that we start going into the raw data center design and also start knowing what are the different products and features that is available in the application, right? So that is the reason we are all in this call to understand about all the new offers and also the features that are introduced in the raw designer. So the agenda that we have for the next 90 minutes is that we will have a quick introduction of the raw data center designer, and if anyone is new to this call and have not used this application, probably that will give some context to them. But most this application has been there for a year now, so but we'll still be providing a brief introduction about it. Then we will also go and see how about the design tools product portfolio and where the raw data center designer is fitting in. And then we will see what are the different features and offers that is currently available in the raw data center designer and how it can help you to create a widespread data center designing solution for your customer. After that, I will be going to a detailed demonstration of the application where I will be showing a small how you can design a small to medium scale data center solution, and I will try to also touch upon all the products and also the features and the functionalities that is already developed in the application. So once I'm done with the demo, we will see what is next in our roadmap plan for the next 3 months. I'll be sharing the release plan with all of you. We will also see the support that is available for your region, because I'm here today for the Middle East, Africa, and the SAM region. So you will also see the point of contact that you can reach out to in case you need any kind of help in your designing of the data center. And finally, we will have the Q&A session. But of course, as Hani has mentioned, if you have any questions, do post them in the chat. And we have Rajendran from the Middle East, who is the config lead, who can take care some of your question. And also I have my colleague Chandan Singh, who will also try to answer most of your questions. If any questions remain unanswered, probably I will come back to them later in the at the end, right? So with that, I will start with the introduction. So the new raw data center designer. So basically, this is the direct replacement of our legacy application, which was the ISX designer, right? So this new raw data center designer is a modern web-based tool that will allow you to create virtual data center solutions or designs. Unlike the ISX designer, where you used to install it in your application in your desktop, and uh, uh, that was a desktop application, but this is now a web-based application. So you will not find any kind of compatibility issues with the system uh, configuration, right? The other key benefit that we have with this new data center designer is that you will be able to build and configure data center layouts based on the product rules and the constraints. So as and when you will be configuring the solution, we are making sure that we have taken care of all the validations and also the compatibility of the products with the sub products, so that you will be finding it along the configuration journey. Also, this raw data center designer is the only configurator now, or designer in fact, which can wherein you can create designs with rack containment system, net shelter aisle containment, and also other physical infrastructure elements, right? Unlike the ISEC designer, this new web-based application can also integrate it with other tools like the three-phase PS configurator and also the DCM. And we have also integrated the CFD cooling analysis. We have done a basic part of it, wherein if you want to see how the whether the number of cooling units or the uh, placement of the cooling unit in the design is optimum or not, you can do a basic cooling check. But we also have a provide you allocation where you can download the design and go to the CFT IT safety software for advanced cooling analysis. We have also provided you the ability to add generic objects. There is 2D view and 3D view for visualization of the design. And finally, we have this product information and pricing coming directly from our SPIM system. So unlike the ISEC designer where we used to hardcode the SKUs, now whatever the SKUs that you might be seeing in your country is basically being set in the product information management system from the product line of business. So introducing any new product in a particular country will be a very quick job from now onwards in the row designer. Yes, again, it has its merits and demerits, but we are continuously improving the experience with the help of our customers and reaching out to proper line of business. So this is a very quick snippet of the design tools portfolio. So when we talk about the design tools portfolio, you can see there are two main buckets. One is product configurator and another is the solution designers. Under the product configurators are the specific product configurators like the three-phase, which caters to the UPS and the PDU configuration. Then we have these cooling configurators wherein you will be able to configure the perimeter-based cooling products, which is based out of Zhuhai plant. And also we have this DCM configurator wherein you can configure the EcoStruxure IT products along with the netboards. So these are the three main configurators that we have from the product configurator angle. On the solution designers, we have the localist configurator, which is catering to your edge kind of a data center requirement like the micro data center solutions or the single rack kind of a design. Then we have this row data center designer, which has completely uh, migrate or replace the ISEC designer. And the good thing is that what we have seen over the last 2 quarters is that we have migrated all the users from worldwide to our row data center designer from ISEC designer, right? And also we have this modular data center solutions, which is designer which caters to your prefab configuration needs. So all this application is sitting in the design portal ecosystem, wherein you can access all the reports and the features that is there in the design portal ecosystem, like the uh, state solution status change, the reports, and the quotation to the link to the quoting, right? So this is on the design tools portfolio overview. Now, to give you a understanding or a context about how we started the journey and where we are in this journey. So as you can see, we kick-started the planning and the development for Raw Data Center Designer in 2020. We did a beta release in the year 2022 with a product for the Raw Data Center Designer. And last year, we did a worldwide release on 4th of November where we have launched all the products and the functionality, right? So now you can see that the stage that we are in is that we are planning to phase out the ISEC Designer on 30th of July. So that means, as you might all know, that in international region, the ISEC designer, you can only access them in a read-only mode. So that also will be taken out and the whole ISEC designer will be decommissioned on 30th July, where you will not be able to access the ISEC designer application anymore. But you can definitely go to the road design portal and start and also search for those solutions for your reference purpose to create a new solution in the road designer. So you can see the team has worked really hard and they have made it happen that application like ISEC designer, which was built over 20 years, was replaced in a 4-year timeline, right? So which was really commendable. So as we are, as I mentioned, we are at a very initial stage of our application. So the application is at a nascent stage. Yes, there could be some thing that is nagging your experience of designing a data center solution, but we are very open to it and we are getting feedback and we are also continuously improving the experience of the road data center designer. So let's see how the road data center designer is ready for all your requirement when it comes to the designing of a white space data center, right? So you can see in the rack and accessories product portfolio, we do have the SX and the SX Plus rack, the next gen SX rack, along with the easy racks were available, right? Like we know that Easy racks are not available in NAM countries and also in the countries where it is 60 hertz, but we do have it in most of the countries in the international region, along with the accessories. Then we have the RPD. You can see that we have all the 7K, 8K, 9K, and 10K series available in the Raw Data Center Designer, along with the Easy RPD portfolio. Cooling in Raw Data Center Designer, like the ISX Designer, we are only catering to the in-row direct expansion and the chill water along with the Easy portfolio. For the perimeter cooling, we don't have the product configurator, product SKUs as a whole in the application, but you can definitely use the generic objects like the crack object in order to stimulate the CFD calculation for your design for your room. Then in the power, yes, we have to migrate the Symmetra PX units, even though they are not very much used nowadays in many of the countries. But since we have to migrate the ISX designer products, we have got all the Symmetra PX units in your country and region, along with the Galaxy VS portfolio, Easy 3S, 3M, and the Easy UPS modeler. We do have a plan to also include all the other three-phase portfolio into our row designer, but for that, we currently have stopped that because we believe that there is some other priorities that we need to take care of. On the containment, yes, we have the RACS, the net shelter aisle containment, and the old ecoil containment also available. You won't find the hyperpod in the row designer because what the direction that we have received from the line of business is that the hyperpod will go as a standalone solution. That means if you have a requirement of a hyperpod for a white space data center, you can do it with the help of multiple design option in the design portal. So in one design, you can create the white space data IT racks in row data center designer, and another design you can create the hyperpod. In the software monitoring, we have the EcoStruxure, all the offers and the network portfolios. In the services, we have the basic product and the maintenance services. Design layout, you can see that right now our application can support up to 500 racks, and also we are providing a experience of 3D view for the all the hardware products that you have in the floor. On the analytics and the reports, BOM report you will find in the application. There is a two view of the BOM report. One will be giving you a consolidated version of all the SKUs in the bill of material, and also another version will give you a categorized version of the bill of material, right? And based on what we have analyzed the ISX designer solution over the last 20 to 25 years, we can say that with all these products that we have introduced in our row designer, it will cover the 99% of the solutions that get configured, that used to get configured in ISX designer, right? Because 1% what I'm probably will take care of the more than 500 tracks kind of a solution, and also some of the products like the STS, which is not mostly used but still being used, but that comes under below 1%, right? So we can say that 99% of the solution can be covered in the row data center designer, and we are in a phase that all the last 4 years we have been trying to migrate from ISX designer to row data center designer. So that was the uh, kind of a work mode, but now since we have already migrated, so from now onwards going to the future, we will be bringing in many innovation and new features also to this application. So we are very open to it. So that being said, now what I'll be doing, I'll be quickly jump onto my application, and I'll try to give you a very detailed demo of the application with the where I will try to touch upon all the products and the features that is available in the row designer, and try to create a small data center solution where I will create add racks, cooling, UPS, power distribution, containment, software, cables, and also the services. So without further ado, I'll just quickly jump to the application. So since I'm giving this session to all our internal sales and pre-sales, and also the solution architect team, application teams. So since all we being an internal employee, you just have to click on login here for this in order to log into the design portal. So once you go to the design portal, in the create new solution page, you will be seeing the new row data center designer. And also I believe that once you will log into design portal nowadays, you will find this banner where it will be giving you this intimation that ISEC design is going to be decommissioned on 30th of July, and the replacement is the row data center designer. But we also recommend you to uninstall the product, because since there will be no further updates coming from the design tools, it's better to uninstall it, because for your security of the system, right? If in case you need more information about this decommissioning, we also have created a help document for all of you to go and understand if some of the frequently asked questions about this decommission. You can find all those questions and their answers in this particular document, right? So I'll proceed ahead. I'll click on create new solution. And since I'm giving this session for Middle East and South America, which is predominantly on a 50 hertz IC region, I'll go for the United Arab Emirates. I do know that in South America region, there are different region with different voltages and frequency. For them, I would say that whenever you would select your country in the create new solution page, based on the frequency that you will select, you will be getting the product line. Just for example, if I select Brazil, for example, so you would see that we have this dual frequency, right? 60 hertz and 50 hertz. And based on what you select, you will be seeing the products in your country. And also, we do know that in South America, many of the countries in the Andes region do have the 60 hertz voltage frequency, like Venezuela. So you will also see the products which is marked with 60 hertz, right? So, but for the this training session, I'll try to go with the 50 hertz IC region products, because that's where this particular audience will predominantly have. So you will click on the row data center designer. So once you click on the row data center designer, you will land in the new row data center designer application. So before I start with the design, let me give you a very quick introduction about the layout. So you can see on the top header, you can see the solution name and the number along with the country of installation with the flag icon. Then you have this notification center where as and when you will be adding the products to your design, if there is any kind of constraints, you will be notified with that in this particular window. Then we have this cooling proper settings icon where it holds the cooling properties. Through this cooling properties window, you will be able to uh, let me try to switch off my camera for bandwidth purpose of my demo. So in the cooling properties, you'll be able to configure the cooling properties for your data center room so that it gets all applied. Then you have this accessories properties. So as you all know that we would be adding the default cable drops and the data cable partitions in our designs. But if in case you don't need it, you can always go and uncheck them through this particular window. And unlike the ISEC designer where it gets applied to all the products, now here it gives you the facility to check on a product level also, right? So, but you will have to save it, otherwise it won't be applied to your design. And you will see on the top right side, we have this price segment. So as and when the design will be created, the bill of material will be getting added here, and also the price will keep on getting updated. On the left navigation, on the left bar, you have this designer view. This designer view will take you to the 2D view of the room where you will be able to uh, see how the room data center looks like. On the left side, you have this parking lot, which will like host all the product that will get configured. On the left side, you have the generic items like as of now, we have added only the block, the crack, window, and the doors. I will show you in the later stage of the demo how we can add them to our design to do a kind of stimulation, nothing to the bill of material. We have this zoom out and zoom in, the 3D view. the room properties. So you can set the room dimensions through this particular window. So for this particular demo, I can go for 20,000, which is 20 by 20 meter. So you can see that if I change the dimension, it will take the required dimension. And also we have enabled the raised floor. So let's go for it, say 250 millimeter. And we also have the ceiling height. So you can just keep on changing all these input attributes based on the requirement that you have for your design, right? So I'll update on it, and once if you see, once I've updated, my room has also changed according to my requirement, and you can see the dimensions are also marked with this particular length, right? So I'm done with my room creation. Then we have the cooling check. Right now, if you can see, this is disabled because I have nothing in the floor. I'll show later in my demo how it will work. Then we have this download CFD project. As I mentioned, this cooling check will be giving you a basic analysis of your design with the help of IT CFD software API, where it will give you the result. But if you want to have an advanced analysis of your design, right? If you want to go through the airflow movement, the pressure of the air in your data center, you can also download your CFD project. And as of now, we have the drawings available, which is only the visual drawings that is available. Uh, as you might remember that in ISAC Designer, we used to have the Visio, CAD, and the 2D view. The CAD we will not be doing in our Road Data Center Designer, and we are exploring the upgraded version of the CAD, which is the BIM model part, right? And on the left hand side, the next thing is that on the solutions, if you see, this is the BOM segment. There are two views which we will see after we create a design. Then we have this help segment. This help segment will take you to the video section where we have created multiple videos for each of the module. So you can see there are many videos, many professional videos being created, which will help you to not to do a detailed configuration, but at least it will help you to get started with the Road Data Designer. It can provide you that base platform. Okay, this is how the configuration should happen, right? Then we have this feedback button. If in case you have any kind of ideas, or if you have any kind of report to be bug to be reported, you can post it through this particular medium. Then we have the reset design. If in case you are not happy with whatever the design has been created so far, you can reset it and it will start you from the scratch again. About it will tell you what is the version that you are currently working on, right? So with that, I'm done with the slide layout. So now let's start with a small uh, to medium scale design. Okay, and in that for that design, what I would do, I'll start typically with the racks, as we know that when you talk about the data center designs, white space data center design is basically starts with the IT racks. So you can see this is the rack catalog page. Unlike the ISAC designer, if I remember correctly, we just had a handful of rack products, right? Like some 8 to 9 products. But now you can see that in UAE, I can see 91 items, 91 racks being available. And these items, when I say 91, it can vary from country to country because, as I mentioned, the data is directly flowing from the PIM interface. So if in case you see that a particular product is missing, do reach out to our support team and we will work with the product manager in order to get that product updated for your country. Because from Road Data Center Designer team, we are not hard coding any product as of now. Okay. So you can see in the rack catalog page, unlike the ISAC designer, we have more products. Then we also have more intuitive user experience for not only the expert user, but also for the novice user. Expert users can definitely use this search bar, if because they definitely know which rack they need. But if in case there is a new user, if there is a new training coming into the team, they can leverage these filters based on the customer requirement and they can go for the correct product, right? So you can also see that we have this family of Easy Rack and NetShelter SX Rack both, and under SX enclosure, we will be having both the next gen and also the previous generation. Then in the U height, we are also seeing this 4 U heights, and you can see we have also added 52U because with the trend that we are seeing with the higher rack density, bigger racks and wider racks are mostly is the trend. So we have also included the 52 U rack. So and in this moment I can see there is only one rack, but that is something that we are offering. Then in the width, you can see there are many widths that we are supporting: 600, 700, 750, and 800. In the depth also we are supporting till 1200, right? On the color, we do have the black and white. And on the right hand side, you can see that along with the search bar, we also have all these cards being laid out of the different products. In the card, you will find the ERP price of the particular product, the description of the product, some of the high level details of the products, which will help you to narrow down your selection, or to know at a high level what is this product is all about on the dimensions and the physical attributes. But if in case you need to know more about that product, we are also making sure that SKU number that we have in this product is clickable, and it is web linked, right? So that means if you click on it, it will open the APC site of that particular product in your country. So if you see here, I've clicked on AR3350. It has opened in the Gulf countries, and you can go through the all the details that is available in the particular public site. So similarly, all the cards will be laid out in this manner. So now let's do a small selection. So we will go ahead with some AR3100 rack, and also we'll go with some deeper rack. So I'll click on configure. Once I click on configure for AR3100, it will take me to the configuration page of a rack, right? So in the configuration page, you will see that it has the load capacity, the power feed, and the airflow been set by default. And also a system has already been established for you. But of course, this is something that we are recommending based on the data that we have seen over the last 20 years from the ISX designer. It is not that is you have to go with this, right? You can definitely remove this all this recommendation and go whatever you would like to go ahead with. So you can just click on add rack PDU, and when you go to the add rack PDU, similar to the rack catalog page, this another page, the RPDU catalog page, also you will find all the RPDUs that is available for your country and your in your region. And you see the filters are also available on the right hand side, on the left hand side. So if you want to filter by the RPDU type, if you want to filter by connection type, input connection type, output connection type, or if you have a direct requirement that the customer is actually looking for the number of outlets, right? You can go for these filters, right? And also in this particular RPDU type, you can see that we have most of the RPDUs that is available for your country or region. So if you don't want to go with the recommendation, you can delete them. You can just add them based on your requirement. And you can see that as and when you are adding this RPDU, the use space, the zero use space in the AR3100 is also reducing. Like if you can see that it has gone to 3. Now if I go and add 3 more, you can see the plus icon also has got grayed out. And if I click on it, it's like 4 items. Now you can see that it has gone to 0. So you will not be able to add any more vertical RPDUs to this particular rack. And you can see the add button is grayed out. So all this validation we have already taken care. So only RPDU that you will be able to take will be able to add to this particular rack will be the horizontal RPDU, right? So, but I will be doing a very simple design. I'll just go ahead with one A8886, right? And you can see that since I've added one RPDU, it has 30 outlets, and you can also decide the RPDU position in the particular rack. Then we have the sensor. So based on the load that we have, it also suggests you the recommended number of RPDU sensors. You can click on add rack sensors, and also you can see the number of different other sensors that is available to you, right? So you will see the other netport sensor that you can add to the configuration. If you want, I can add this probably what is a smoke sensor to our configuration, and we will see how this smoke sensor will be also be adjusted when we do the DCM configuration. So now I'm done with my rack configuration. So I say that I'll go for 2 of it, or say 3. So I'll click on add to unplace. And when I click on add to unplace, it will go to my designer view, right? So you can see all these three products that I have added, it is there on the floor. I can drag and drop them. Okay. Now say I have three of this product. I want to have more of it. So, and if you want a similar kind of racks, you just have to select it, multi-select, you can copy them. And once you copy them, it will come to your clipboard. You can again drag and drop them so that you can have a replica of all of the same racks. But if in case you have say another requirement that, okay, I need the similar racks. Just a minute, I don't know, the room got resetted. Let me try to. Yep. So, so say I have these three, but now say you can multi-select them also and also go for edit racks. And when you do edit racks, you can see here all the six quantity is disabled, but you can go for the rack that you would like to go for, right? So if you want to go for 3357, right? You can see that you can go for 3357 and it has also reset back the complete configuration, right? So if you want to go for any other, say, so we do have some feedback coming on our way, and that is added to our backlog, which is like having a search option here, so that if in case you are aware of what rack you need to change to, you can also select them, right? So you can see you can add it, select any other rack, and it will be getting added. So let me try to add a deeper. Okay. And once you go back to the designer view, so you will find those deeper racks now here. I will just slowly try to scale my design. Okay. So I have the nominal AR3100 racks, which is a 1070 depth, and I have also a 1200 deeper racks here. Okay. So I'm now done with my rack configuration. So next thing that I would like to do is go into the cooling part. So in the cooling, just similar to the rack catalog experience, you will also see that in the cooling catalog page, you will have the filters on the left hand side, which is cooling type, width, and the control type. Under the cooling type drop down, if you see, you will be finding all the different kind of cooling that is available for your country. We have the chilled water, we have the direct expansion air cooled, economizer, fluid cooled, twin cooled, and the indoor chill water also, right? On the right hand side, you can see the search bar if you're aware of what product you need, and also the cards, just similar to how we have laid out the rack, we also have all those cards. So for this design, I will just go with the indoor direct expansion air cooled water. The reason for that being because as a pilot, we have integrated the unique a performance values to this 301s. So you will be getting the proper cooling check with the proper cooling capacity values. So I'll just click on configure. When I click on configure, you will see that similar to how you have landed in the rack configuration page, we will also be landing in the cooling configuration page of that particular indoor cooling product. Because as we do understand, for indoor DX expansion units, there will be an indoor unit and outdoor unit. So in this configuration page, you can see that you can configure the indoor accessories. You can also configure the outdoor accessories. By default, just similar to how we are doing it for racks, similar some SKUs, it is ready for you. If in case you are a novice user and doesn't have that particular agility to do the choices of your own discretion, the system is making sure that we provide you with that guidance and the recommendation, right? But of course, you can always undo them and do it at your own discretion if you have the requirement to it. And also you can see that we have the checks performance button. Basically, what it will do, it will, once you click on it, it will be opening a web page which will be a replica of the Unicalc tool. So if I'm not wrong, most of our users, what they do, what they had been doing for many years is that they would be going to the Unicalc to get the capacity values, come to the ISEC designer to do the design, and go to the ITS CFD software for the cooling calibration check. Now all these things can happen in one single place in the row designer itself, right? So now you can see that for ACRD 301S with this particular outdoor cooling unit, so the sensible gross cooling capacity that I have is 25.6 kilowatt. So I know now for this particular cooling unit, this is the maximum that I can give as a cooling capacity. So based on the other performance temperature that we might have set in the cooling properties and also the number of cooling products. So I will say I'll go with 4 cooling products. Okay. And I'll click on add to unplaced. As I add to unplaced, you can see that applying cooling properties. So the cooling properties that we have set for our data center room is getting merged with the values of the Unicalc. And once I click on done and go to the designer, once I drag and drop them onto the floor, so I'm done with dragging and dropping. So my Unicalc check has happened. My configuration is done. So the next thing that we used to do before was like to go to the IT safety software for cooling check, right? Now that basic check you can do it in row designer itself. So now previously I have shown you this cooling check was disabled, but now if you click on it, what it is now doing, it is analyzing this cooling placement in this particular design, and also it is sending all the data to the IT CFD software, and it will get back the results from the IT software, and it will show you the assessment result in the row designer with some kind of a indication like in the green color tick or red color mark. So that it takes some time because this is at a very nascent stage of the implementation and we are continuously working to improve it. So you will see there is a assessment results we will see in the design view. So the cooling check has failed because there must be some issue with the API. So we will try sometime later again. Okay, but it won't stop you from doing to proceeding ahead with the application. So no worries. What we will do, we'll continue to our next part, which is the power part. So if you go to the power catalog page, now you will see that you will be having many more options than the ISEC designer. So if I see show you all the products that is available for UAE, you have the Symmetra PX which is having the 40 PX 48, 96 and 160. We have the power distribution unit which is only one that we have in the international region, which is PDPM 277H. Then we have this rack mounter power distribution unit. We have the Odin, right? Like how we used to have in ISEC designer. Even though this is going to be discontinued, what we have got to understand from the line of business in a year's time, but we do have introduced it in row designer. And also we have the Galaxy UPS and Easy UPS, which will give you the option to add Galaxy VS 3S, 3M, and the three-phase modular. So what we have done with the Symmetra PX and power distribution units and these Odin is that we are providing you the same experience and the bill of materials that we used to have in the ISEC designer when it comes to the powering and also providing you the cables. But when it comes to the Galaxy and the Easy UPS, you will be able to size the UPS in row designer, but there you won't be provided with any sort of cables or the power distribution units, anything of that sort. So I will be showing a complete configuration. So now let's start with the PX. All right, Symmetra PX, right? So what I will do, I'll click on existing equipment because we do have the IT equipments placed on the floor, right? All right, so I think I have to do some changes because let me do this IT racks as a dual redundancy so that at least we will have some, I can show some validation part also. So what I did, so A and B IT racks are all single feed, okay, and C and D IT racks are having dual feed, A feed and B feed. So we will see how the powering will happen now. So I will go to the power and I will go to the existing equipment. And if you can see here, now since my redundancy check is N, right? Based on that, you will be seeing two buckets being created. And that bucket is equipment can be powered by this power and equipment cannot be powered by this power. The things that you will be seeing under the equipment can be powered by this power is are the ones which are having all dual power feed, right? And we also are showing some message over here. The tooltip will show the redundancy used by some equipment differs from the power zone's redundancy because we have selected the N redundancy. But if you see, if I do it to N, this shuffling would happen. So whatever the single was getting previously powered, now it will be going under the cannot be powered, right? So I'll just go back to the N and select all the things that I can do. We also have introduced a feature where you can select which row that you want to power with this rack. I would like to power both the rows. I'll not be selecting A or B. So I'm done with the selection of the IT racks. Now you can see that my IT load is added here, and based on that, whatever the UPS will be able to power support this load is also filtered out. Let me also give you a runtime. Say I'll go for 45 minutes of runtime. All right. And also right now you can see that we already only have the modular battery, but we do have also plan and currently working on it to introduce the modular long life batteries. But right now we have only the modular battery. So now I have sized my load with the Symmetra PX UPS. I have not selected any family. That is the reason all the possible combinations are available for you to select. But the top, the one which is at the top is the most economical because we are doing the sorting based on price. So I'll click on configure, and when I click on configure, you can see along with the UPS, the batteries are also added, and you also might have noticed that the experience that you have in rack configuration, in the cooling configuration, and in the power configuration, these are all three similar because what we know that rack cooling power, they are more of a kind of a, it can go standalone also or it can be a combined configuration also. So that is the reason we have kept the experience for these three configurators very common. But containment DCM services, since they are more on a solution level, you will find them a different approach altogether in those configurators. So you can see the experience when it comes to the configuration page of cooling, rack or power, it is all same. You come to the configuration page, you can go for more kind of a details configuration. You can go for the RCD breaker panels if you want. You can also add the additional power whips and breaker if you don't see that you don't have, if you see that you don't have the all the breakers being added. You can also add to your requirement list. So you can select, I don't know, so some bug over here, but you can also select the additional power waves and breaker. Okay, so you can click on add to one place, and once I click on add to one place, you can go to the designer and drag and drop the power system. You will see that the ladders are also now being created with the correct number of wires that is needed, right? So so let me try to place this cooling and the rack in a better manner so that it will be helpful when I have the uh, when we have the containment. So let me redraw. So as and when you will redraw them, the cables also will take the correct position and everything. Yep. Okay, fine. So here it is done with the Symmetra PX UPS. Now we have this deeper racks to be powered, right? So now let's go to the power again, and I'll go for this power distribution unit, right? Now if I go for the existing equipment, if you see here, if I select, there is nothing has been selected. That is the reason it cannot power. But if I select dual, then you can see that all my IT racks that are all dual power feed can be now fed with this distribution unit. So I'll select them. I auto just similar experience. I will get the load reflected on here. Configure. Since we know there is no runtime, I can directly add to unplaced. And you can also see now that my uh, the power distribution also are powering the dual racks, right? That dual feed racks. So let me also arrange this a bit here. All right. So I'm done with my power. Okay. So, but again, as I mentioned, we can also do the Odin. So if you have a requirement that you want to do the Odin, you can always go into the Odin, or not Odin, Symmetra PX250 and 500 to be precise. We have all the features that we have in IC Designer. If you want to go for parallel mode, you can select 2 minutes and it will give you the number of, based on the load that you have. Say you want to go for 300, it will tell you which is the unit and what are the extra power modules that is needed for you to configure and design. So you can select this particular unit, configure it. You can see along the UPS, batteries, the power module, the remote switch gear, the parallel cabling. If you need to have additional power module, you can add it through here and click on add to unplaced. And once you click on add to unplaced, you can have this remote switch gear placed along the wall. You can have this power system. So the Symmetra PX250, Galaxy UPS, VS, 3S, 3M, they are not allowed inside the containment. So I'll try to place them somewhere else. So in the Galaxy VS, 3S, 3M, and the easy three-phase modular also, you can give any kind of load. So let me say 200, and you can see that whichever the UPS is capable of providing you that particular solution, you will be seeing in this catalog page. Unlike the three-phase configurator, where you will be having the different approaches like the expert view and the novice view. So in this particular catalog page for the Galaxy and three-phase, we are providing a novice view, but expert view in fact, sorry. But if you click on configure, then it will be a novice view again. So it's the kind of a hybrid model that we have in Row Designer for the three-phase UPS configuration. So you can see that any, so let me take this three-phase modular. So I'll just, and you can see that as soon as you have selected the Galaxy and three-phase UPS, there are many other battery options that is available for you, right? So you can also go for lithium battery. Let me configure this 3M modular. So we know that for this particular UPS, it's a scalable UPS up to 250. So you can see that since my expected load was 200, it is adding me three extra power modules. So you can click on add to unplaced, and you can drag and drop them onto the floor. So this is how you can configure and finish your power configuration. Now let me try to do a containment, right? So on the containment, we have this the net shelter IL containment, which is the equal, the old, the previous version of the containment. Then we have this next gen containment, which was newly introduced this year in the month of Feb. And we have the rack air containment system, which is very restricted to some racks, like the AR3100 and AR3150, and also a couple of easy racks. So what we will do, we will select some of the equipment, some equipment from the floor. And for this training's purpose, I'll just go ahead with the next gen because This is the new offer that we have to offer, and also we have the 3D for you, right? So I'll just go for the next gen. So in the one configurator, you can see that just similar to the experience that we used to provide in our ISEC designer, like you will be having an interface. So in that interface, you will find all the configuration options that you would need to configure a data center containment design, right? So in this net filter IL containment, you can see that what kind of containment you would like to have, horizontal or vertical. What is the mounting support you want to have, cabinet top or ceiling support? If you click on ceiling support, you will get some extra question, like whether you want to have the rod from us or no rod, because many times what we have seen that customers can go for custom rods also in billing rods, right? Then in the aisle containment details, what is the width of the aisle that you would like to have, what is the length of the aisle you would like to have. So these all these things are grayed out for this moment because you cannot do a standalone configuration, but eventually we do have a plan in the roadmap to introduce the standalone configuration of the next gen also. Then in the left door, then the door types, if you can see in the next gen, we have many door types, which is more than what we used to have in the equal. We have this passive type, dual sliding, single slide, dual sliding, the breakout door, which is nothing but the old equal sliding doors, the curtains and the none, right? The LED lights we are checking by default and not required. The roof panels is standard, drop panels is not there in the NGC, and also the airflow controller. So based on as you are configuring, you can see that your bill of material also has got generated. So you have a complete peace of mind that you need not to calculate for the bill of material per se. Definitely when it will go to the customer and side, that's a different picture altogether, where you have to cut the pieces in order to configure or build that containment. But at least from the bill of materials side, you completely have a peace of mind because we are taking care of the complete bill of materials. So I'll click on save on it. So as you save on it, this particular system will be created. So I have created a horizontal roof configuration with the cabinet top support. So let me do a separate kind of configuration with this particular configuration. So I'll select it again. Let me do a vertical duct configuration, right? So I'll just go with a ceiling. Okay. So and say 520, and I'll just keep everything same. And you can see that as soon as I have selected ceiling, my SKUs also have changed and some of the designs also will change, which I'll show you in the 3D part of it. So you can see now, since these are deeper racks, right? So we have added the depth adapter. Okay. Now let me go to the 3D view of it. So you can see now. So this is how the 3D of the design looks like. This is the okay. I have taken ceiling for both, but anyway, you can see this is the horizontal roof with the NGC with the ceiling support. This is the vertical roof with the ceiling support, and you can also see the blanking panels or the filler panels, right? It is also being created over here. Unlike the old equal where used to have some SKUs, but now in the new equal next gen containment we don't have any SKUs. We are leveraging the same roof structure or the materials that we are build that we use to build the roof structure. We are leveraging the same material to build the blanking panel also. Then on the right hand side, you can also see the other wooden products that we have added, right? The easy modular 3M modular, the product that we have added. We can also see that there is a raised floor. Okay, this is the height of the raised floor I have given. You can also see the ceiling, right? But of course, there is so much of improvement that we can do in the 3D. This is just the beginning, and we are always open to improvise more on the 3D. You can also use this particular snapshot feature if you want to take some snap of this particular 3D from any angle. These pictures will help you to prepare the proposal document for your customer. So you can take the snaps from here, and it will be stored in your downloads folder. And if you open, and this is how the image would look like of your design, right? So this is how it would look like, and you can leverage and you can use it for your customer solutions. I'll go back to 2D again, and so we are done with most of the rack cooling, power, and containment feature. Then we have the DCM, right? So DCM, if you see here, we have two tables. One table is basically it's asking which are the racks for you need the rack access control, right? If you need the rack access control for all the racks, you can select it and it will be added to all. If you just need some of it, you can just select the product that you want. And you can also do similarly by how we have done for the power also. You can go by the rack rows. If you want to just select the row A, just select the row A, right? And you can select everything. And also if you and also there is I don't know. Okay. Also there is another table. In the table you can see this is for the software main monitoring appliance, right? Where in which rack you want to place or rack mount that software appliance. So for that also you can select which rack you want to do it. So say for example I want to put it in RB2 rack. Okay. And also you can see it gives you a summary of what is the number of nodes that is there in your design, what is the number of racks that is there in your design. So in the row designer, we are taking into account all the connected devices at the number of nodes, including the three-phase UPS product and like VS, 3S and whatnot, and ODN also. So all those connected products are considered as the nodes. So you will see as soon as I click on configure, it will take you to the design configuration page, where if in case you are a novice user and doesn't have much of an knowledge of how to configure, but you do have a requirement that the customer is asking you to have the monitoring and that to the cloud or the on-premise version. You just have to click on that option, the default option, and the system will take care of the complete bill of material based on your design. So you can see that as I've selected all these three solutions, it has given me with a bill of material. And in the netboards also, if you remember, we have added a smoke sensor, right? That smoke sensor also is also now been added over here. Okay, and this smoke sensor, this 6 smoke sensor will be accommodated into the 750. Okay, and also you can see that the number of nodes is auto populated. So the user need not have to worry what is the number of node that I have to add, because based on the design we are pre-populating all this input field. And you can also shuffle between the cloud and the on-premise to see which is the more optimized solution, right? So you can see with the cloud it is giving you some this 3175, but if you want to go with the on-premise, you can also see that okay, this is only $2,000, right? Then on the on-premise, then and also on the cloud, you have the option. If you don't want to go for the cables, you can opt for this without networking cables and adapter, but I'll just go with the cables. Okay. Then we have the software support SKUs. If you want to have the preventive maintenance, you can check them. The SKUs will be added to the bill of material. So the good thing about the road data center designer or any of our design tools application is that the users need not have to worry about the bill of material, because we will be churning out a right bill of material. It is something that you just have to click on the options based on your requirement, right? So on the planning also, if you want to go for the on-premise, you can go for the DCO operations. And on the finally on the net ports, if you see, if you want to have the cameras, you can go for the cameras. You can say how many cameras you want, and it will also be recalculating the bill of material, and it will give you okay, you need 4 camera pods, so everything will be added to your bill of material. If you need to have the surveillance camera, you can go for it. So it will be also adding the surveillance camera for the software that you have just added. And if you finally, if you want the assembly and the configure service, you can also add. And also you can see that we have provided with you with 2 more sensors here. So this alarm beacon and leak rope, we have not added it in the rack configuration, because why? Because we understand that these two sensors are more of a solution on like not on a rack level, right? So you can go for the sensors also from the DCM configuration. And as and when you are increasing the number of alarm beacons, so if you see here, if I keep on increasing the number of alarm beacons, the netboard 750 also will increase. So you can see the netboard 750 is also is increasing, because one 750 comes with one alarm beacon, right? So Okay, I'm done with my DCM configuration also. I'll click on save, and once I click on save, you can see that it will take me to the designer view, and in the designer view you will now see that along with the power ladders and the whips, now we can also see the data ladders, right? And you can see that if you remember correctly, I have selected the RB2 as the monitoring rack. So you can see this M icon. That means this particular appliance, this particular uh, appliance is software monitoring appliance will be mounted on this RB2, but it's up to the user again at the site, right? How they do the installing. And you can also see the cables being going to the Odin, okay? And you can also see the power ports that is needed, the rack monitor, everywhere that is wherever it is needed, and we are providing you with the most optimized solution. Definitely, we have some feedback to make it more user intuitive and user preference oriented. So that is also that is we are working on, right? But you will see that we are not attaching any ladders or cables to the uh, to our three-phase UPS because we don't know where exactly they will be residing in a data center room, right? So that is the reason we are not adding any cables. So we are done with our DCM also. And finally, we have the services. Services like how we used to have in ISEC Designer. No, nothing much has changed, or we have not added anything else also. But we have some feedback to add the non-concurrent services also, like the ultra and the advanced services queues. But that is something that we have in our roadmap. But pretty much the service will remain the same, like how we used to have in our road data center design, in our ICT designer. You will find all these queues and you click on update and it will be all fine. So now my complete design is done. So I can download a CFD project. Once I download a CFD project, I can uh, open the IIT CFD tool. I can open the IIT CFD tool. If you want to do an advanced cooling analysis, right? So you can open the file, upload it. Once it is uploaded, you can also do the cooling analysis. So I'll show you, I'll also do a cooling check over here. And we will see there is some, not some, to an extent, it's all similar to what we will see the stimulation in the row designer. Okay, in the, both are running. Just bear with me. I should not have run both the places. But anyway, we'll wait. Oh yeah, last time when we did the CFD was failing, right? Okay, yeah, sorry. No worries. So uh, it was failing. So what are the next thing that I want to show you in our row designer is that we also have this, say, if you want to know, okay, what is this rack that is all about, right? So you can just select the rack or any equipment, as I can say, and open this bar from the right hand side. It will show you all the details about that rack. So that is another thing that we have right now. Right now it is only read only. You won't be able to change any of the properties, but we do have an uh, plan to also provide some kind of edit option to the user, so they can also remove these the cable drops and data cable drops, whatever, whenever it is not needed, right? Then another thing is that we have the generic items. So you can see that I can add the crack item to my floor. So I'll just have this crack. Maybe I'll put it on the other side for better visibility. So maybe I'll put it on the crack on the this particular wall, and I can also configure what is the CFM that I want to give for this crack, what is the cooling capacity that I can. So at least you can stimulate, right, your white space data center with the containment and raised floor. Okay, I have this crack unit. I don't have the in row, but I have this crack unit, and I don't have the product, but I can at least stimulate, right? So that is another thing. And also we have the windows, so, and the doors. And if you want to differentiate between your, say, what do you say, the IT room and uh, the other three-phase product. So this, I don't know, this is the right way to do it or not, but definitely maybe you can just use leverage this box to, say, maybe create that differentiation between the IT room and the uh, so maybe that is how you can do it. So you can go to the 3D view. So you can see this is how your room would look like. Yeah, we have received the feedback that the cable should not be going through the walls, but for now, this is how it looks like. You can see this is the block, the window, the door, and the crack unit that you have put out. So you can also uh, change the edit the size dimension of the crack by giving some height, so which is more reasonable. Yep, and you can go to 3D, and this is how your crack also would look like, right? So with that, once I'm done with all my solutions, so you can see on the warnings, it has been pretty a good solution so far. So only one warning, because that is also for the three-phase UPS. And also you can see the price. We have the total price as NA, but you don't have to worry about it, because this could happen that it's such a huge design, right? It might fail during fetching of one of these queues. So you can see in service, one of the service, it failed to fetch the price. But you can definitely go ahead with the go to design portal, and it can happen that when you go to design portal, it will again call for the price of all the CRs, and it will take some time. As you can see, it will again fetch all the CRs and call for the price. And once it go to the design portal, it can happen that you will be getting the price of that SKU also, which got failed in the row designer, inside the row designer, right? So now if you see here, you will go to the design portal, and you will have the total price. So you see now you have got the price. So you can go to the reports to access whatever the reports that is available for the design, and of course also the status for the approval, and all the doing the other functionalities that we have in the design portal. So with that, I'll conclude my demonstration. I'll go back to the slide for the sake of the time. So the best practices that we can do whenever we're doing the design in Row Designer, as I have mentioned, we are at a very nascent stage of the designer. So we are planning to make it more robust, more stable. But we would also suggest that at this initial development moment of the application, build your solution in a scalable manner. Like if you are trying to do a design of 200 racks or 300 racks, don't drag and drop all the 300 racks at a time. Maybe you can just do one pod at a time and just keep on scaling it up at this moment. Try to avoid copy of heavy designs for time beings. Okay. And suggest to configure the DCM at the end of your configuration to avoid repetitive errors because of change in design. So what is happening right now in row design, whenever if you are doing the DCM configuration, say at the middle or at the finish starting, every time you add or delete any product from the row design application, you will be prompted with an error. So which will be irritating to you. So it's best practice is that you go for the DCM at the end, right? And also the releases that is coming up in the next 2 3 months is that we are also bringing many more options in netports configuration, since it's a new offer, and also it's going to be our offer to in the future. So we will not be lagging behind with the offer side. We want to bring all those configurable option in the road design also. Room shape cutouts, it will help you to draw the room or build the room in a different dimensions. Right now, as you can see, you can do only rectangular and squarish, but with the room shape cutout feature, it will help you to do a room of different shapes. On the equal 3D, today I have shown you the 3D of the next gen containment, but we are also getting a huge feedback that the ceiling time containment is still being used at a good handsome rate, right? And 3D is also needed. So we are currently working on it and we are planning to deliver it on 23rd of August. Perforated tiles, it will go to our generic objects. Then we are planning also to bring the auto and manual save option. And on the 30th September, we are optimizing in the cooling analysis because this needs to be it's a high priority for our next quarter on the cooling aspect because we are seeing high density racks, and because of the AI rush and also the IoT, higher density racks is the norm going to it's a trend in the future, right? In the near future. So we also want to make sure that our road data center designer is providing you with a better cooling analysis. Definitely, customers can go to their consultants for more better cooling view, but we also want to make sure that we do our good job from our end. Visio API, as you know, right now you can only download the Visio from our road designer, but we are also making sure that it can also be downloaded from the design portal. And the beam drawings. And these are the last two items are something that I have mentioned, a netboard rack motif of your choice. And RPDU line of business are also coming up with a 11K series of RPDU towards the end of October, right? So that is also in the road. So these are the resources that we have for you. You can click on this link to go to the design portal. I'm assuming every one of you are aware, but if anyone have not used the road designer yet, you can go through this link. If you have any feedback, do reach out to designtoolsupport@sc.com, or you can also use the feedback channel button that I have shown you in my demo. And of course, all the videos you will also find them in the Design Tools Help Center and also in the MLN link, right? So probably if you go through MLN link, it can give you some credits also, right? So you can go for any of it. Okay, and these are the support contracts that we have, contacts that we have in your region. So you can see the personnel in your Middle East and the South America region. Juan, we have from the South America, we have Ramesh, Aurelian, Oljas from Middle East and Africa, covering most of it, and Sain and the Tian from, okay, he's from East Asia, sorry. So, yeah, so this is the support group that we have. So with that, I'll conclude and quickly jump to the chat for any QAs, questions and answers.
Right. Does anyone has question to our presenter? If so, you can now unmute your lines and directly ask your question, or you may also continue sending your questions in the chat. So I think there are two questions that hasn't answered yet, Piklu. You're in mute, Piklu. We cannot hear you.
All right, sorry. So I was asking my colleague Chandan. So Chandan, is there any question that is not answered yet?
Yeah, couple of question is there, Piklu. Can you check, please? Couple of
Can we
questions.
have access for, is this answered? Can we have access for cloud and service provider colo end users for primary design such as draft? Is Ramesh there in the, okay. We can definitely have the access for them, Eduardo. So when you talk about are you talking of the internal sales or internal employees or some partner users?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yep.
Okay. Especially when we work with cloud service provider end users, we work directly with them in order to create a first perspective of a new project. So at this time, at this moment, we don't have any partner or any engineer design firm included in the process. So because of that, I believe that it's important to give to some strategic end users this access. What do you think about that?
Definitely, it can be done, and it can be done really easily if it is an internal user. But if it is a partner user, definitely do let us know those partner users, and we can provide them the access.
Okay, great.
Uh,
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Do have an option to import actual drawings from customer in AutoCAD. So, as I mentioned, visual drawings is the one which you can download and import it to the visual application if they have it in the system. On the AutoCAD Ajmer, we will not be doing the AutoCAD in Row Designer. Okay, the reason for that being is that currently the technology is very niche and we don't have the expertise to it, but we do have the expertise to build the next version of the AutoCAD, which is the beam drawings. So we are currently working on the beam drawings, which will be available or replacement for the AutoCAD going forward. Does that answer your question? Thank you. It would be great if the tool can show the minimum required clearance for the requirement. All right. Yeah, this is really a good idea. But probably maybe we will have some different views altogether for that. But point taken, Amit, I got it. Maybe I'll get in offline on touch with you to see how we can bring that particular idea into Row Designer.
Okay. Okay, great. Thank you.
Can we add dimensions in the drawing hotel? Cool. Can we add the dimensions in the drawing? Which drawing here we are talking, Eduardo?
Sometimes we have customers with tiny white floors, and they need to know how length is our hot aisle or the dimension of the racks of the containment. And as far as I know, for 3D drawings or the 2D, we can't add the dimensions into the drawing.
Okay.
If it's possible, would be grateful for the customers.
Yeah, actually, that's what the visual will help you to do. So if you see here, if I go and edit back the design, uh, see if you click on this option, it will give you tips. If you want to view the design
Sorry,
on the way,
I can't see your screen. I just see the last slide of PowerPoint.
oh sorry, can you see my screen now?
It's download. Yeah, I can see.
Yeah.
Tips.
So if you click on download video, what it will do, it will download the file of
Mhm.
the design and it will also give you some tips. If you want to view the design on the web, you can just double click on the file. If you want to open the downloaded file in a natively installed Visio software, so we know that Visio is a software from Microsoft, right? If you have that software, you can right click on the downloaded file, select open with and choose Visio from the list of apps. Or you can also use open source Visio viewers to view the Visio diagram. So this second option that you're seeing, right, Eduardo, this option will help you to add those dimensions in the design. So I don't have the software, but I can show you the
Me
browser version.
neither,
You can see.
but I
Yeah,
understand your point. Yeah.
yeah. So, but we are in Snyder, right? So, what I know that if we request our Snyder enable digital enablement team, right, as a 2929 ticket, we can get the software access actually to that Visio software. So you can see that now in this is the viewer part. Okay, so you can see these
Mhm.
dimensions. So if you can open this file in that Visio, that then in that case you will be able to add the dimensions of the equipment in that software.
Of each equipment. Okay.
Yes, yes, you will be.
Manually or it's automatically?
No, manually, definitely manually for now. Yeah,
Ah, okay. Okay, manually.
yeah.
Okay.
I can see Ramesh has said, answered this question. Yes, we can add the 5U to our design. So if I have to quickly do it, so I'll just add this 4. Oops. No. So, sorry, I'm just doing it in a hurry. So I can just go to power. You can see that an error has been triggered. And what is this error is about? Because I've added some products and this is the DCM, right? But anyway, that error will stop you from going to the design portal also. So you always have to correct that error for a correct solution. So rack mounted distribution. So once you select the rack mounted distribution, you can go to the existing increments. You can select all these products, and you can also select which is the product that you want to mount at RPDO, right, or RPP. So you can configure it, click on add, go to the designer. You can see that particular thing is being added to this rack, right? So if you see to go to this rack, you can also see where is that the PDO, the RPP is being added. All right. All right. Can we add it? It's done. Can you please share your screen again? I hope you were able to see my screen all throughout my presentation, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Thank you so much.
Right. Are there any questions? Before we end the session, we still have 4 minutes of our time. We can use this for Q&As.
Teklo, we do have a question. Can you check?
About this SD 3D, yes. So yeah, Nigel. So we are working on optimizing the 3D. Okay, so you will be definitely be seeing some improvement coming in the coming months. Okay. Okay. What are their standards for minimum requirement can be made part of standard design international? Maybe uh what standards we are talking here? Is it of the clearance requirement, right? So maybe Ajmer, I can get in touch with you, and also I believe this has been suggested by Eduardo, right? So maybe we can have a call offline with Ramesh to know more about this particular point. Yeah, Franklin, you have raised your hand.
Hello.
What's the question? Yep.
Yes, thank you, Pilku. Please, could you come back again with the design? Because I could
Yes.
see that uh, interesting inside of the power options. Because only I can see that are enabled Symmetra as option in power distribution. I mean, I cannot see again, the new easy modular Galaxy options with Galaxy families,
Okay.
easy families. There are some reason why it's not included these UPSs
The
families.
first question that I will ask you is that, Franklin, in which country you are
Yeah.
opening that solution?
South America.
So
In South
I
America,
understand. So,
we work
yes.
with
No. Which country in South
full
America?
easy 400. I'm based in Brazil, but I am responsible for Interstam.
Sorry, Franklin, your voice is breaking. Actually,
Sorry,
it can
sorry.
happen. Actually, it can happen as I mentioned during the initial of the call, right? Based on the regions in South America, we know that there are some 50 hertz country, 60 hertz country. If you are opening in a
Yes.
60 hertz country, you will not be seeing the easy range of products. Okay. So can you let me know which country you are opening right now?
No, this clear. But if you consider countries in IEC standard, okay, it's major part of countries here in South America. Okay, by one moment we not thinking that 60 hertz, but in 50 hertz, okay, appear the option for into the tool now is the families is the Galaxy as part of option when I chose power or no? Because in the example that you are showing to us, only appear Symmetra. And as you know, Symmetra PX is currently currently we're replacing by EC modular, for example, PX up to 250 kilowatts. And my question is, if there are some reason why not appear easy modular, for example, in this new raw data center design.
Now, I can only suspect that it's because of the country, but I can definitely get in touch with you offline to know more about the problem.
Okay.
Thank you. Yep. I think we are on top of the hour, honey, and I think we have a good attendance also.
Yes.
Thank you,
All
everyone.
right.
Thank you for your time, and you all have a great day ahead. Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. And thank you so much, Piklu, for the presentation. I'll be sending out an email which includes recording and the slide that were used for today's session. Thank you, everyone, and have a great day ahead. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye. Thank you.